town over there, aren't you?
I have the.
Are you feeling inspired? Oh, you do have it today.
I have it. Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Well, I don't know if I had it, but I have one.
Oh, let's go back to the original one. Yeah, because this is episode 1.
No, oh my gosh. Okay, let's just go. I don't want to do this with you.
This is.
No, it is what it is. Period. We'll figure out what we do. I don't like saying we wasted all that.
No.
time.
That's not about wasting. That was practice. But I'm gonna tell you something.
I'm not arguing. Let's just go.
Well, we won't ramble too much. I'm Steve Hodge, and this is my lovely co-host, Elizabeth Hodge. Where's her applause? Give her applause. The star of the show, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. How you doing over there, my man?
Doing great.
My guy, Mark, a.k.a. Mr. Do-It-All.
Yes.
All right.
Of all trades.
Right. A tribe called everything.
He's mastered some things.
I think so.
Yes.
I believe that. And shout out to our guy, Mr. Karan Cole, who was the musician of the crew, gives us all the music. Mm-hmm. Shout out to him and also to his family.
Yes.
Going through a little something right now, man. We're glad.
But they are great.
Yeah.
They're gonna be all right.
Yeah. You got to stay prayed up.
Yeah.
Cover your family.
Yes.
Cover your family, man.
And
Cover
your
your
family.
Right. There you go. I like
Your
that.
family. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. We got him covered.
Yes.
He's here in spirit. All right. So this is Marriage for Grown Folks. We'll see you guys weekly and eventually probably more than weekly, a couple times weekly as we move forward in this process. But we're here to, why you do that?
But
You got to come to work. We might have to
Listen,
record two times.
listen.
You got to come to work. You got to
Okay.
come to work.
Let's talk about that first, though, before you putting that out in the ether.
And ethos?
Ethos.
Got it. But no, we're here to build a community and a safe space. I hate people say that. A safe space.
I like
for
safe space
safe
words.
spaces. I like
do.
safe spaces. But a community of people who subscribe to the institution of marriage the way we do. We've been together for almost 19 years now, married. And if you want to count dating, we're talking almost more than half
It was
our
almost
life.
10. Yeah, it was almost 10 years before
That's
that.
29 years, man.
Yeah.
That's our life. We grew up together.
Right.
But we're here not to bore you guys. We hope we don't bore you. But we want to give you a snapshot, a purview of what we believe is happening in the world from our perspective as married people. Mm-hmm. Now, you're going to get it from all angles. I ain't like how that sounded. Get it from all angles. But you're going to get so many different pieces of information and content tossed your way from social media, YouTube, friends, family. There's so many things and people's opinions that are floating out there regarding what's happening in the world. But what better way to talk, negotiate, argue, converse about these things than with, the idea of marriage.
Right.
Is that cool?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
if you are here for the quote unquote salacious headlines and the filthiest things that you can think of and just talking about people in general, that ain't what we're here to do.
Right.
We've been together for some time. We think that we have something special. So I'm glad to be here. All right,
All right, you ready to start with temp check?
let's get it.
Let's go. Okay. So, like to just get a gauge of how things are going.
Got it.
Cool. Starting simple.
Got it.
Numbers 1 through 5.
Got it.
1 being 5 being great. How you feeling? And why?
1 being
Eh.
and 5 being fantastic.
Fantastic.
It's Wednesday, and I think you were right. This does get us over the hump. It's almost like a party in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
Like
It is
mini
a party. Oh, it is a party.
It's a party in the middle of the week. So I get excited when I wake up. I'm like, I'm going to see Mark. I'm going to get to see my wife all dressed up and stunning. We get to
Wear your yoga pants every day.
the black ones.
They feel
Every
so
day.
good. They just feel good.
They look good too.
Thanks.
I just get some blue ones though. I'm saying, switch it up a little bit.
I do wear different ones. I just have a lot of different black yoga pants.
Diversify your yoga gear. So, okay, 1 to 5. I'm going to go 5. I feel fantastic today. I think the set looks amazing. I think the lighting looks much better. I think we set up much faster. And, but overall, the day, even though it was a day, I had a lot of pieces, been a lot of places. But it was a good day. And it was 80 degrees. Can we get another hand clap for that? 80 degrees.
80 degrees.
Yeah, that felt
December
fantastic.
18th.
Yeah, how about that? 80 degrees in beautiful sunny LA.
Imagine that. In
Yeah,
Connecticut.
imagine that. Imagine that.
You remember when Christmas was like almost 70 degrees? Do you remember that Christmas in Connecticut?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
Absolutely not. Wow.
you don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
It was like 90.
What? Okay.
It was my freshman year.
Wow.
And I remember it because it's never that warm for Christmas.
You never lied
And today had me thinking about
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
did.
nice.
It was so
nice.
warm. I remember my sister had gotten a bike for Christmas. And you have to wait like 4 and 5 months back home to ride your bike.
Where's home, by the way?
Connecticut.
860, baby.
Yes,
The
Hartford,
Nutmeg State. The
Connecticut.
great Constitution and Nutmeg State. Is it Nutmeg or Constitution? It's both.
It's Constitution State. I don't know what you're talking about. With
You never heard about the Nutmeg State?
I have not.
You got to look at the old license
I'll take
plates.
a
They say
look.
Nutmeg State.
Okay.
I don't know what a nutmeg is. I think I know what nutmeg is. It's like cinnamon or something like that.
Yes, this is spice.
Got it.
Okay.
So I said 5. Did I say 5?
You said 5.
Awesome. What about you?
I'm a 4. I'm great.
All right.
It's a good day.
It's a good day.
But it's a good day. But it's not day anymore. So
All facts. And nighttime is really
nighttime is tough for me. Listen.
talk about when you get our age and you have children, somewhere around that 8 o'clock hour, you're sometimes 7:30. You're thinking about it, and when I say thinking about it, I mean bed.
When I pick our boy up from school,
It's light outside.
It's light out, but I'm already thinking about, okay, so this is what we're doing for dinner, and this is where we're at. And after I'm done cooking, I can go in my room for a little bit because he's good for a minute, and I can go do what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesdays, I enjoy this time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to front. It's a 4. I feel really good. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tired.
Got it.
Yeah.
There it is. I'm not gonna call you old. I wouldn't do that. That wouldn't be right if I said old.
My birthday's in a week.
That's wild.
Yep.
You're gonna be.
I'm younger than you, though. So there's that.
We do this every year.
He's almost a year older than I am. The end.
It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Now, I want to sneak mine in really, really quickly. I'm glad that we're feeling good. I'm sneaking one in. We talked about this last week, so I kind of give you guys a heads up.
Okay.
What piece of music are you listening to right now, Miss Elizabeth?
Oh, shoot.
What is dominating your earlobes and your heart? Don't act like that.
What?
How long we been married? As long as you don't see SWV, we're good. We are good. She got 35 playlists, and then on each playlist, there's at least one SWV song.
So what?
I'm not knocking it.
All right.
Yeah.
But I didn't listen to them today.
Not today.
What am I listening to? I wasn't listening to music today. Remember I told you last week. I've been listening to podcasts.
So when you worked out, no nothing.
Yeah, I listened to. Oh man, I listened to Tupac.
Oh really?
I did.
What song exactly?
Oh, I Get Around.
A classic.
It was alright. Yeah. I did listen to. Yeah, I was in my bag. It was an old school mix. Yeah. Yeah. I thought you asked that because I worked out, remembering you were in the living room.
Mm-mm.
And I thought maybe you were trying to like make fun of me right now.
I promise you.
Oh, okay.
I don't miss an opportunity to do that. Let's throw that out there.
Last week I was listening to something current. I was listening to Kendrick. This week or today in particular, I can't. Today I've been listening to. I've been in the 2000s bag. Yeah.
Yeah, early 2000s.
Early.
You know what I realized? That early 2000s was the last moment of like our R&B. You know, the Tamia.
Oh yeah. I wasn't listening to R&B though.
Oh, okay. Oh, hip hop, using your bag. Nice. Well, I thought I had something good. Remember I talked about yacht rock? Yeah. I was in my yacht rock bag.
Oh my gosh, he really was.
I really was in my yacht rock. I'm telling you, Michael McDonald. I'm telling you, trying to tell you, my Christopher Cross.
Imagine that on like 25 in the car. Like seriously, turn that down. You're not even supposed to listen to that loud.
Why not? Music is meant to be listened to loud. If you had Karan sitting here right now, I bet you musicians, they don't even understand what music is like being played softly. Soft music.
I didn't say soft, but that loud?
I like loud music. Okay. But today specifically, I went right back to El Mean.
Oh,
I went back to El Mean.
Okay.
That project is not project. But the last one I'm not in love with. But I get why he has to do that.
Yeah, right.
You know, I get why he has to do that. Right. And although this is not a music pod, I gotta shout El Mean out. I really get like it. I really, really, really get excited when you feel like you found a new artist. It kind of feels like you found them. You unearthed something that no one ever heard of. Yeah. But we got a chance to see him.
That was awesome.
End of the summer, right? End of the summer?
It was fall already.
Fall? Okay.
Yeah, I think it was October sometime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was in October sometime. We were young kids that night. I'm so glad I wore sneakers. Yeah. It was standing room only. So my back was booming by the end of the night. I was like, oh my gosh. Kids really stand for a long time.
I don't think
it was like a 3. I mean, we were in there, what? 3? It was 3 hours, 3.5 hours of standing. Oh my gosh.
Meanwhile, Mark is looking at us like these old buzzards. Get off my lawn. It is what it is, man. Our feet be hurting, man.
Right.
All right. We got mileage on these bodies. But no, El Mean is definitely in there. Specifically TLC. That song is freaking fantastic.
That's the one with all the miners? Is
yeah.
It? Oh, yeah. I like that.
Thunder, Light, and Cavalry. That's so good. So, once again, this is not a music pod, but I just want to see Mark, what are you listening to, young guy?
I listened to Soul Burger today.
Soul Burger.
Absol.
I haven't got to that.
Yeah.
I haven't got to it. I need time because I was in a Dochi last week. I had no idea that this young lady was that powerful, that phenomenal.
Yeah, we talked about it on Friday.
Ooh, yeah, I had a long trip home, but an hour and 10 minutes. That project, mwah.
Chef's kiss?
Chef's kiss. Magnifique.
Okay.
Yeah. So, there it is. That's our music. Yeah. That's our music takes for the day. Copy that. Cool. All right. Would you like to give a little bit of our background, or should we just move on? I think we can get that out, and it can come out in a wash, as they say.
I think so, too.
Copy that. Copy that. So, let me set this up so people know that we're not just here for clicks and likes, all right? Now, don't get it twisted. We want people to watch this, all right? Our thumbnail, that's on you, Mr. Mark. Our thumbnail is going to be, vibrant. It's going to say something that gets you to click. But once again, we're of a certain age. So we're not.
Apparently, huh?
Yeah, we're definitely not running around looking for the what's what of news and events to happen. But every now and again, we recognize that everyone is talking about it. I think Monday was that day when I recognized, oh my goodness, this Travis Hunter thing has grown legs. Yes. And I think we were sitting in a car and I was just trying to find 10 minutes maybe, just 10 minutes of a piece of content to listen to just to get me from one minute to the next. We were like in between
something, right? Okay,
so I said, well, is it going to be like the Big Think, After School, or Myron Golden, something? And then, but I noticed Mason, Cam, Shannon and Ocho Cinco, Stephen A. Smith. I'm like, everybody was talking about this particular moment. I can't say incident because nothing illegal's really been done, right? Nothing's been done illegally. So this Travis Hunter. So the setup is, if you've been under a rock, their social media is up in a frenzy, up in arms, and reacting to Travis Hunter, who is a fantastic wide receiver, Heisman
he's
Trophy
gifted,
winner
right?
now, right? He's incredible. He's a receiver and a DB, which happens very infrequently. And not only is he playing both sides of the ball, he's dominating both sides of the ball. He's making a significant contribution to his team. So he's a Heisman Trophy winner now. But I guess over the past few weeks, Mark, young guy, our resident young guy, check me if I go too far. There's been maybe 3 or 4 incidents, and I hate to use that word incidents because it makes it feel like something's
Some
going
side-eye
wrong.
moments, right?
But some side-eye moments
Right.
that have been caught in public, right? He is obviously in the public eye. Coach Prime is the guy. Colorado, how many wins did they get this year? Do we know? Something like that. And they won 4 last year, and the year before that, I think before he got there, they were like 1 win. So Coach Prime is doing his thing. You know, this kid's in the spotlight, you know, alongside of his son. He's got this young lady he's dating, and I believe she gave him a side eye at one point. I believe she also has been caught saying, I think she said something to the effect of, he wasn't my type.
Right.
What else did I forget?
So, okay, yeah. So I think the first thing was he wasn't really my type, and I don't even know how that came up. Fine.
Right. Right.
But the other piece was he had like a really great game, scored some crazy numbers. I think that was last week. 52. I looked something up and it was like the score was 52 or something like that. And so he was all over it, and she kind of like was aggy when he went to hug her to celebrate the moment after the game. And so that was one of the things that had people's antennas like, what's going on?
Got it.
Yeah. So there was that. So then what we listened to, I don't know if you want to go there.
Was her-
and she was
was her-
addressing
yeah.
like the things, but it felt selected, very intentional what she was responding to. Anyway, so
I thought that was what caught my eye. I still don't think I care about it because once again, nothing illegal happened. This is this man's right to choose. That's her right to, they're together, blah, blah, blah. So I don't care. But inside of this happening, I think we both recognize, okay, if we chat about this, if we have a conversation about it, there's a lot of things that we can insert from our purview, from our perspective of what this looks like, what we see, different things.
right.
Right? But once she responded, I was definitely curious. I'm like, oh, if she felt the need to have to turn her phone on and record and talk about every single incident, something's up. You know what I mean? Not that somebody's wrong or right, but I'm like, this is very, very interesting. And I think for me, the first thing was I heard her speak about how their first interaction occurred via DM. All right. So I guess he dropped her a DM. I don't know how y'all young people say it now. It's a direct message. What you want from me? Slide a DM, whatever. Direct message. And she said that she let it sit there. She didn't respond because her research showed her that he was dating someone.
In his bio.
The young lady that he was already dating.
Right.
So he was already.
Yeah. So he
Yeah.
was already
He was
with
shooting his
someone,
shot.
and she was like, yeah, I don't do that.
Got it.
But she then said that was how she was determining that he was not her type, which feels like a stretch to me personally. But there's that.
I hear
Because
you.
anyway.
I hear you. From there, my antenna goes up. You know what I mean? You see me thinking, and I'm saying to myself, wow, how things have changed. We've been married 19 years, dating for 10. We're obviously out of the game. I found my person. Right. Right? I'm out of the game. And I'm just like, wow, people really are meeting or shooting their shot in these social mediums, or as Amanda Seals would say, in these different pieces of internets, Instagram being one of them, right? So people are really shooting their shot and meeting people. And that really took me back to, man, I can't even imagine. We grew up in a day where you had to put some clothes on, go out, meet people via your community, church, school, college, university, nightclubs, bars.
I mean, like you kind of aging yourself here because that might have been how we were dating, but we know people and we know that stuff happened. Like when you
I'm just making reference.
underneath.
I'm just making reference to the fact that in this day and age, the first thing she said was, "How'd you meet?" I wasn't expecting her to say that he shot a shot through DM. I just wasn't expecting that.
Okay.
So their first interaction was him shooting his shot via direct message on Instagram. And
That didn't feel far fetched to me though.
okay. It's not about being far fetched. I'm just speaking of where we come from. Because remember, we got to give our perspective of where we come from.
Correct. I get that. But I guess what I'm saying is like her or him shooting a shot, whatever he did, like the fact that that's how they connected there was nothing alarming about any of that to me. I didn't even think like, oh wow, that's so different from you and I. I didn't think those things. I guess that's what it is, but
right.
You know, I mean,
How did we meet? Do you remember? We're not okay. I'm just asking how we met.
we met. Well, we knew a mutual person.
Okay.
And she was like, "Oh, you got to talk to my friend," and she was saying the same thing to you. Remember? And I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, yep, okay, cool." And I think neither of us cared.
No, we didn't.
Yeah. So
we didn't, but it happened naturally through school.
And you know, just for reference, I mean, in all fairness,
don't say nothing slick. Don't say nothing slick. I know how you setting this up. Don't say nothing slick. I know how you get down.
Well, it was my truth.
Why is it so funny? Why does your truth?
I still was on light skins at that time.
Light skins. Look directly into that camera and say light skins. They gonna come for you one day. If we get more than 10 people watching these.
He was not light
skins.
enough for me.
I'll be sure.
No.
Or
he
homie
was not. He was not my type.
Or homie from Shy, right?
No, you were not.
Okay.
I thought you were cool, but yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna say that to say, like, just getting back to her, I don't know her name or anything like that. Like that resonates some for me. Like I think you can get to know someone and then appreciate them. I love you through and through.
Are you like convincing yourself of this?
No, I don't need to convince myself. Okay. I
love
know
you
what
too.
it is.
I
know what it is. So, but she's still not in free for me.
Got it.
Yeah, but
got it.
But in that,
so your original instinct is something you felt something ain't right. That's what you felt.
You want like total transparency, and I, like you, was like, who cares about any of this right now? But because people keep talking about this and keep talking about it. Okay, let me indulge. And so then we started to listen to her, and she's going down her whole list. And so this is what happened. And then this is what happened. And she was giving all of her reasons. So first thing was something about where she was sitting. Or was it? No, the DMs. And I looked in his bio and he had a girlfriend. And
I'm not a homewrecker.
And I'm not a homewrecker. Yeah. She said something like that. And I said, well, then in my head, how are we here? Like, how are we here then? Like, let's talk about it. Because something, caught your attention. So, did you do some research? I don't know. So, anyway, that was the first thing. Fine. But she didn't have an answer for that. She just said he wasn't her type at the time, or she had made a comment like that. And I don't even know how that blew up.
Listen.
Because I really do live under a rock. But
yeah.
I don't. Know that for a fact.
It's not in our algorithm. It is now because we did a little research, but it ain't really what hits our algorithm and what what we're really clicking on. But I get it. But it definitely raises some.
So then she brought up the Then she brought up the incident where I guess he was getting some sort of award or there was something happening.
Heisman Trophy.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
It's the
I feel
Heisman.
I'm
he's
really
the-
under a rock here.
Yeah.
So, okay, I know what that is. I know that's important, right? So he's sitting, and something about where she was placed was an indicator to the world that she really wasn't like into him, or that she really was into. Oh, that's what it was. Because she was sitting right next to him, and his mother was right next to her, and so it was as if she now, like, I really like you now because this thing is happening, right? It's like that kind of thing that was going on or whatever. And so then she was defending, like, hey, it was assigned seats. Like, I don't know, and okay. So I'm like, okay, I guess. Maybe that's the truth. And I really don't think she was lying. But it just was like, why are we doing this? And why do you feel compelled to respond to any of this? Which then took me to my next thought, which was, oh, they're so young.
Right.
They're so young.
Right. And if I can I'm skipping
Please.
over a few things.
No, go ahead.
I think there was one piece of content that suggested that, like, they're so young. He's gonna have such a bright future. He's gonna do such good things, but the process of going from playing to winning the Heisman to what's gonna happen next year, the combine, the draft, first game, all these things, preseason.
Right.
It's a process, and in this process, it makes you wonder when they get to the NFL. I'm not sure who I'm quoting, but when they get to the NFL, they start to get these, trained, like media trained, and you want to be media savvy. I wonder if there's anything for the spouses, for the fiancés, the girlfriends, or the baby moms. I think we take that for granted. I believe that she comes off to me, the young lady, that she's just not. This is new. I don't know what to do.
Oh, but she's not shy in front of no camera. Because I did the research, and one of the things that I had noticed was like she's so they're doing, the kids doing all the TikToking and all that other good stuff, right? Like they're doing this. I'm not doing it again. Well, you get it once, okay?
Got it.
But so they're doing all of these like TikToks, and they're doing all these things together. Because when I did the research, and so she's not afraid of a camera.
Copy.
There's even like videos of her when she's like tipsy and she's.
I mean, homie found her. He didn't just randomly see her and drop a DM. Homie didn't just.
Right. Correct. So all of this like etiquette, I'm gonna like pair that to age. I'm gonna claim it. Okay, you know what? They're young, and there are things that.
And they're
needs to
dating in
happen.
public now.
Yes, they're dating in public, but she knows that.
See, this
come
is
on,
why I
like,
get married. This
she
is stuff that
knows
my
that,
brain
though.
just
So,
does
right?
not. I don't go here.
So I don't think that you can sit and play ignorant in some spaces and then act like, oh no, but I'm savvy in others, right? And so one of the things that she had said, or not she said, but one of the things that some of the other podcasters had mentioned in their show was just the idea that same thing, like not having etiquette, but also like knowing when and when not to address a thing. And so having the savvy to go like, you know what though, that's our business. And right now, this supersedes what we're going through, our drama. Because remember, they're young, right? So something happened, I guess he ran into one of the cheerleaders on the other team. Okay, and so something happened.
They allowed. They allowed.
So the camera got him.
Yeah. Okay.
Got him kind of chumming it up with a cheerleader.
Opposing cheerleader, I believe.
Opposing, yes. And so then the assumption is, we don't know for sure, but the assumption is that she was upset about that. And so when she got on the field after, when it was time to come on the game, and that's one of the things she addressed but didn't address, now that I'm thinking about it, when she was telling her things.
Okay.
She was like, I was just upset because they wouldn't let us on the field. And, again, we don't know why she was angry, but she was apparently angry with him in this. And I saw it. This is the one thing that I did watch of the videos. And he's like hugging her. He's really embracing her.
Yeah.
And she's kind of like, get off me. And he's just had this wonderful game. And so everyone is seeing this. And already, if they've got ideas that you're this, you're that, you're the next thing, you're not going to look so good. And so
she needs some, but she needs some coaching.
She needs some training, but on top of it, she also needs to take a minute and like check her surroundings. Be familiar that there's a camera going to be watching you. He's doing big things. Remember? You didn't know he wasn't your type, but now he is your type. And so here we are, right? So be familiar with your surroundings, or just move as if you know that somebody is going to be watching you.
Until you're polished.
Until you figure this out. Ooh. You better go, what is it? What are those classes that they give you? Just teach you what fork you need and whatever else.
Oh, I know what you mean.
You know what I'm talking
etiquette
about?
Classes, basically.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you can kind of tell.
You need the training.
I can
for
tell
whatever.
that she's not polished. Is what I was saying. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you caught all that other stuff. That is stuff that just doesn't go through my mind.
We're investigators, okay?
Natural.
Private eye.
Mm.
Well, just give me a first name and a color.
That's Yacht Rock.
That's all I need.
Private eye.
And I will scour all the platforms to figure out the thing. This is what we did.
Now, man, you caught all of that?
I surely did. Remember we were trying to get that tenant?
Absolutely. We are homeowners and we had to go through that process, but that is for another pod.
Yeah, no problem.
That is for another pod.
No problem.
I wanted to ask you a question.
Go for it, kid.
We are, once again, a certain age. I'm 44, soon to be 45. I'm not ashamed of that.
I am not that old.
Here we go.
Go ahead.
Here we go. I'm 44, soon to be 45.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a lot. You know what I mean? I jokingly tell people, if you want to know how old I am, I've seen all three Mikes. Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, and Michael Tyson. All right? So I've spanned some time.
Okay.
So there's a little wisdom there. I also know that in our community, the black community, black brown community, that there's still a thing regarding not biracial dating, or interracial dating, sorry. Black athletes specifically dating non-black women, specifically white women.
Okay.
Do you believe that that is not everything, but a small piece of what is under people's skin?
I think it's a big piece of what's under people's skin. Did you have more questions? Because I kind of jumped in there. Sorry.
You answered the question.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to be on here quoting Dr. Umar, but hey, listen.
I watched it too.
You watched it.
I did.
But this is not the first time that Dr. Umar has said this, or other people. There's this idea of how do you improve our overall being as a people? We don't got to go into the history of this country, right? We know what it is, but we know that economics, money, finances is the way forward. Not just making money, but understanding financial literacy and understanding how to move forward and move our families forward, right?
Yes.
And that's been a big push. And to do that, dating someone outside of the race and you divorce. In the world of professional athletics, people making more than average salary, a lot of people believe that if those relationships go wrong, that now that money that could be going to our community to better, right, is now being split or being pushed right back out.
Right.
It's interesting.
Well.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never thought of that, Mark? It's been said a few times, and it's interesting to me. I believe also, I asked you the question, but I do believe that's a piece of it. I think that's rubbing people the wrong way. It's a thing. You can date who you want. You can be with who you want. I don't do the goofy love is love thing.
We're not
So,
gonna
so
go
that's
there,
why I said
but
I'm gonna leave it
okay.
alone. That's why
Okay.
I said that.
Fair.
There's some stuff out there.
Fair.
So
Okay.
let's leave that alone.
Let us.
But nonetheless, that school of thought is out there. And through the ages, through the years, I'm not saying something that hasn't already been said. You go to any draft, any major draft, you know, specifically basketball and football, and you have this emerging star on screen, gets drafted. Big Mama sitting next to him, she crying and she loving on him, and sitting next to him seems to be, in a lot of cases, a non-black woman. I think that definitely stirred a little something as well.
Yes. So you showed me the picture, remember, on Monday when you showed me the picture. I looked at her and I said, she's not just white. She is of mixed race of some sort.
Copy.
You remember I said that, and you were
Copy.
like, I think nope. Okay, so I dug, and apparently she is. She is a mixed woman. Her mother is a black woman. She's about your shade, and her father looks maybe Filipino-ish or some sort of Latin. So she is and has a black mother. She's kind of got a Meghan Markle kind of thing going. That's her name, right? Yeah, Meghan Markle. Oh my God. She's got that kind of thing, right? Like she can totally be, what is it? And you know,
Ambiguous.
Ambiguous. I thought it was something else behind the ambiguous.
They usually
but
say
yeah.
racially ambiguous.
Thank you. Racially ambiguous. So that is something to take into consideration. But when I was looking at her, I said, I think she's mixed. And that might be my own like mixed spidey sense thing. So I am black presenting, right? But I am very much a Puerto Rican, right? And if you look at me, you don't see that. And so I tend to have a sensitivity to some of that. So when I was looking, I'm like, I think I immediately knew that she was mixed. And so then, of course, like I said, I looked and she has a whole video because she's so comfortable with the camera. Which is like, so these are the things that I'm dueling with right now, where it's like, I don't want to care, but here I am trying to like make sense of some of the things that you're saying. And then I'm just like, but then how are you missing it here? And all I keep going back to is maturity.
Yeah.
That's really what I keep going back to. And so, I'm with you on that, right? Like we don't want our black athletes to just all be opting out, and then when stuff hits the fan, right?
Yeah.
Then
As
here it
we've
is.
seen lately.
We've seen that, right? Because our goal is, in a lot of ways, right, is to be informed and to be, I don't want to say preaching, but to be putting out that idea of generational wealth. And,
Absolutely.
And how we're helping our community to grow and get stronger, because
Yes.
there's so many
yes.
things up against
It's
us, right?
our responsibility.
Right.
Ultimately.
So that, I think that's where we get really sensitive about these things.
Without, let me give this caveat.
Please.
Without the idea of hate.
Right. No.
No, absolutely not.
I got mine.
Right.
It's not personal.
Absolutely not. We are not anti anything.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with being pro-black. There's nothing wrong with that. Other ethnic groups, other races, they do it, and nobody says a word about it.
Right.
When we do it, it's considered something else.
It's aggressive.
Yeah.
And
There's nothing wrong with
against
us.
and-
that
which
ain't
is not
that ain't what we stand on.
correct.
You know what I mean? If you
Right.
love someone, you love them, and we're not saying that we don't. I got family. I got mixed family.
We got lots of.
Yeah, we got a lot of that.
Yeah. So I'm saying all of that to say, I then watched another video.
Sheesh.
Listen.
Look at the researcher
You're so
going
welcome.
on.
You're
Boom.
so welcome.
Nice.
Thank you. So I watched a short clip. This one actually had Deion Sanders in it, and he's
It's Coach Prime.
Oh my bad.
We're not gonna have him looking for us. It's Coach Prime.
Sorry, Coach Prime. So he was out there. My dad was a Dallas fan, you know. I'm like,
Still is.
yeah, he very much is. And so I grew up. Okay, fine.
But you're a Bills fan now, right?
I'm a Bills fan through and through.
Bills Mafia.
Love you, Dad. And anyway, so he was in the video with Travis Hunter, and he slid in real like funny like.
Coach Brown, real quick.
Go ahead and get that prenup, though. And I said,
Wait, he said this on camera?
yes. Coach Prime says to Travis Hunter,
Go ahead and get that prenup.
get that prenup. And then he said something funny along the lines of like, oh, you know, like she's a good, Travis's response was something like, she's a good woman. And he's like, for now. But it was like that. It was very funny, very undercut.
Oh, did we miss?
I don't know.
Once again, a woman is not going to miss that subtle.
Listen.
It sounded like it wasn't so subtle, actually.
It was subtle because it was a lot of like kikiing in between, and it was him and another. It was like one other person, I believe. I watched a lot of videos, but there was another person in the space. It wasn't just them. So they're
And
having
Prime said that. Coach Prime said that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes. So he says that, and I'm like, that was intentional.
Yeah, it was.
That's intentional.
I didn't
And
even
this
see it, and I know
coach
that.
is like, hey, hint, hint. Just gonna put that out there, right?
Yeah,
And
go
I
ahead and love her. Go ahead and love her,
I
brother.
immediately thought of you and the role that you have with your guys, with your team,
Mm-hmm.
right? And how you do take on this like pseudo paternal kind of
You have
role
to,
in
yeah.
some respects. And so in thinking about that, I immediately was like, he's not kidding.
Right.
But again, I also see that as like very fatherly to these kids. So I keep going back to the thing about maturity, and I keep everything. I'm like, it feels like they're moving really quickly, and she's not educated in some respects, or she's not exercising that education in some respects. And then in others, she's just kind of like, well, that's what happened. And she's giving up, her reasons. And I'm just like, very hypocritical of you, or, feels real contradictory. So that's something to, to just consider.
Mark, she is cooking right now. Sorry. Give me another hand clap for her, please.
And I don't even care.
Cooking. Right. Imagine if she cared about this. Imagine if this was stuff that she actually cared about. Well, unbelievable. I told you she was a star.
Thank you so much. Okay.
So we talked about that piece. All right. We talked about that piece. Talked about the media training. We talked about the multiple incidents. And now you've brought to light the idea of the prenup. Whoa. How about that?
You didn't see anything about that?
No, ma'am. I heard somebody say something about it, but I didn't know that Dr. Umar. I didn't realize that Coach Prime.
We don't talk about him? Oh, shit.
No. We're not anti-Dr. Umar. I like information. I take my information wherever it comes. And as they, listen, he's a Pan-African. He stays true to what he believes, his Pan-Africanism. That's fine. I watch CNBC and I watch Fox when I need to. Like, you need information. You want to stay balanced. It's cool. I ain't tripping on Dr. Umar. What Freddie Gibbs say? Sorry, Umar.
Are we quoting Freddie Gibbs now, too?
Absolutely.
Fair.
It's wrong.
Fine. Okay,
Are you kidding me?
So I think the only other
Shout out to Rodney.
if we're gonna talk about him though, the one thing I will say that stuck out with him, with what he was speaking about, was just what he questioned was her claim to being mixed. He's like, he's actually not questioning whether she's mixed or not. That's neither here nor there. He's like, I think it's just really interesting how she hasn't presented in any other way until now, when it's time to be defensive, and now you're pulling out pictures talking about this, that, or the third. Or this is my background and this is this. Because what it sounds like is before this, in Colorado, in this space, and he even went at Prime and was just like, I think it kind of sucks that you're in Colorado where there's
You knew that was coming.
misrepresentation of Black people or underrepresentation of Black people. And here you are, making this really big thing happen. And so then he went at her in the same respect. Like, so if you're so he didn't question it. He didn't say, if you're so Black, but what he was saying was,
what he was saying.
Yeah, but he didn't say that. Instead, what he said was, I think it's really interesting that now that all of this backlash, now you're pointing out but I'm actually this and this. And, we could segue and go into who we were talking about earlier, but we don't have to go there.
We won't. And I get it. But man, you brought up some really good stuff. I feel like I know way more than I knew an hour and a half ago about
you're
this, and I thought I did a deep dive. That goes to show you that a woman can do things that a man cannot do when it comes to finding out information. No stone unturned, no door unlocked.
That wasn't even a deep dive.
That wasn't even a deep dive. So when I
That
was
was
lying,
just-
when I was lying when I was younger, you knew I was lying.
So you want to go there?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so moving right along. All right, we are a happy 19-year married couple.
Long. Sorry.
All right, Gina. All right, Gina.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
It's a Martin reference, y'all. If you don't get it out, this probably ain't the pod for you. Because we're going to have 1,000 of those.
Okay.
So listen, I don't want to sound corny. I don't want to sound like the old man. But my heart goes out to these, once again, to these young people who are trying to negotiate something done so publicly. I can't imagine, and believe me, let me make sure I get this right. I played low-level semi-pro basketball overseas. Nowhere near the level of talent that this Travis Hunter young fella is, right? But I can't imagine if I were in a public eye the way he is and the way she is now and the way that social media has provided another vehicle to be scrutinized with. I can't imagine trying to negotiate that. You know what I mean? I can't imagine that you would get it right every single time. So I'm kind of glad, that Coach Prime is there.
Okay, fine. But like, she's like consistently getting it wrong. Like at some point, right? Trial and error.
No bell here, Mark. I'm
Like
trying to
trial
shoot
and
some
error
bell.
would say, "Hey, that didn't work out.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't do that again." Right? Rather than getting on screen and then talking about, well, you misunderstood this and you misunderstood. Don't answer. Just do better.
Just do better.
Just do better.
Well, or I'm just going to throw this out there as well. If you recognize after maybe the second, I hate using the word incident, after the second issue incident, maybe we kind of keep her away for a while.
Oh no, he's like gung ho for her.
He's going to ruin this young lady if they don't act right. And I think at this point,
Ruin her how?
just she's getting slashed, and you can act like you
doing
don't.
that
You
on
can.
her own.
You're, well, maybe it's time to be quiet. Maybe it's
Okay.
time to exercise a little silence. Silence is
So that's what I was just saying.
until we get this right. Until we get this right. We didn't do anything wrong. We didn't do anything illegal. But we're in the eye right now. Maybe it's better for us that I just sit this one out. You do your Heisman Trophy thingy. You get your awards.
Your Heisman Trophy thingy?
Well, he's going to do a ton of interviews and all these different shows. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's a big deal. Who did he sign with? Adidas?
Adidas.
Yeah, so this...
Wait, did you see the commercial?
No,
No.
you got a commercial already?
Yeah.
You better not say she's in it. I double dare you to say she's in it.
She's in
Yeah,
it.
she is.
She's in the
And now that you
commercial.
say it, I heard it in one of the, yeah, she's in it.
Way to read the room, guys.
So that's where I'm at, where it's just, he's so gung ho over this woman.
And he has a right to be. It's his right.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean, like, let's, okay, so we're zooming out. Let's zoom in a little.
are we microing now?
Let us.
I'm trying to keep it macro. Go ahead. Cook.
Just thinking, okay, so I'm just thinking about in our own spaces, right? How we have people that we know that get so caught by that love bug and lose themselves or lose all sense of reality, right? And then you're like, why don't we see this? This has happened time and time again. It's not like it you know what I mean? Like this is, so again, but I'm thinking about it in these instances that I'm thinking of, some of them are recent, but a lot of them are when we were younger. They're 22? How old is he?
In
I
early
think she's
20s.
20. Yeah, I think she's 21, and I think so. So anyway,
Babies.
yeah,
Babies.
they're young. They're really young, and again, like I said, I kind of scrubbed their they have like a YouTube page or not a page, but yeah, like a show that they do, I guess. And
Together?
they do it together, and they
You know what?
do the goofy dances.
You know what?
And they do all
you
of
know
the
what?
things.
I guess I have to apologize. I thought I did some research. In my head, I painted her as just a young lady who, and I'm not, they didn't do anything illegal here. I want to make sure that people recognize.
You've said it.
But I painted her as just a woman who is coming into a space where her superiorly gifted athlete boyfriend is moving up. You know what I mean? And she just happens to be in tow, and she's doing the best she can, and screwing up a little bit, and dropping the ball a little bit, and being probably over scrutinized.
Sweet of you.
I had no idea that she
That she what?
that there was a footprint, so to speak.
Yes.
And we all have one, but I didn't realize it was a footprint. But once again, he didn't just find her out of nowhere.
No, he didn't. And so, again, something I
The
want.
woman's always right.
No, hold on now, because in this case, she is wrong.
I meant you.
Oh, thanks. Okay, so
She took that one though, right? Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that. Thank you. So,
Iverson.
So, just thinking about one of the videos, another video I watched, right? So she's talking about parameters that they set. So there were like guidelines or things like there's like these 3 non-negotiables that they had set as a partnership, right?
Got it.
And she was defending basically the fact that he probably didn't abide by. I was trying to find like a nice way to go about it, right? And so that was her way of trying to defend some of her actions in one of the things that we've all seen or something like that. And I thought that was really interesting. And so with that, I was just like, oh wow, like that's cute. Again, thinking about age, but also thinking about us and like when we were once we got married, right? And thinking about how we had to set parameters and create like non-negotiables. So I'm saying that to say like, oh, it's so cute, but also like, this is good, right? Because they are very immature. They're very young. They're getting these really big things that are happening in their lives, right? She's having to learn and adjust. He's having to smile and nod and like figure out these things. But between them, they must be having some conversations. So,
That'll be some dialogue.
yeah, so they're having conversations, and some of the parameters that they've set is like, I mean, it was kind of silly. It was like, like we have each other's cell phone codes, and
I
so
know they're killing her for that.
So she said that. I was like, oh, sweetie.
Or him.
And then they had, yes. And then it was like that they're not having, so that whole thing with talking to the other cheerleader, like that was like against the code because.
Whatever.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, because there are other attractive people. I don't know. Whatever. But it was like, okay. So I guess I'm presenting that to you because now flash back.
I need the
to,
third one though. Now
I don't remember the third.
Okay.
Listen, listen. I don't remember what the third one was, but it was silly. I mean,
Got
they
it.
were all very like young.
Yeah.
But anyway, just thinking about us and where we were at one stage in our life, right? And so let's go into the Do You Recollect
Yeah.
segment.
All right.
Is that cool?
That was silky segue.
It wasn't as silky as I would have
segue.
liked
It was
for
nice.
it to be because I wanted to remember the third. But
you know what you forgot though?
what?
You forgot to talk about our sponsor.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and talk to that sponsor.
Introducing Old Hillside Bourbon Company, where every sip tells a story. Founded in friendship, our bourbon is a symphony of flavor aged to perfection. Whether you're savoring the smooth notes of caramel and vanilla or indulging in the warmth of our signature rye, Old Hillside is more than just a drink, it's an experience. Join us on a journey of taste, tradition, and timeless elegance. Raise your glass to the finer things in life with Old Hillside Bourbon. Cheers to moments worth savoring.
So thinking about Do You Recollect?
Okay.
Just thinking about like parameters that you and I set, like when we first got married.
Okay.
Because remember, this was like a jumping point, and it was like a reset for us.
Mm-hmm.
So if we, I mean, I know this is the first episode, and so our viewers don't really know how we've connected and all of those other things.
Should we give them a little, quick little, or all right, go ahead. Sorry, I'm interrupting. Sorry.
Go for it.
No. I'm
Okay.
listening.
So long and short, right, is, I mean, stuff kind of hit the fan, and then we were like, oh, let's get married. And then we got married soon after.
Not even a full year, right?
It was 5.5 months.
After dating for 10.
Years.
Yep.
9-ish years. So so all of those things happened, and then we decided to get married, and we had to like get to know each other again. And we also wanted to go into this space with it being a lot like
Yeah, we leaving it behind.
we leaving it behind us, right? And so we're going into this really new space, and there's certain things that we have to be okay with, right? Because I had dated people, you were dating people, we might see people in certain spaces.
You told me I was the only one.
That is not the truth. I don't know if that's what I told
messing
you
with
then,
you.
but if that's
I'm
what I
messing
told
with
you,
you.
that is not the truth, and I apologize, and I love you very much.
All right, hit me with the question. Come on.
Okay, so do you remember what some of the parameters that were set when we first got married?
I do not. That is a fantastic question. You have stumped me. But what I do recollect is the premarital counseling that we did with Dr. Bishop Hodge,
Okay.
where we put down some words that would be ultimately the guide or the template for what our parameters were. Now, I do not remember what we wrote in that
Okay,
either.
cool.
What we say?
So there was a clause in there about
Not Santa.
no, not Santa, about female friends. Specifically, because at that point I was like, the male friends I have are your friends.
Real
So
talk.
if you shutting them down, then
That's very good because I had female friends.
you did.
Still have female friends.
Correct.
And
I mean, they're my friends now.
no, you stole my friends. Let's get that out in the open now. I haven't heard from I hear from my female friends who were my friends before her, but once they meet Elizabeth, I don't hear from them. Or I get in the car or see on her phone missed call from. So I feel neglected. I feel like she stole my friends.
You don't answer your phone.
That has nothing to do with it.
That has everything to do with it.
You can't conflate.
We live 3,000 miles away from our friends.
Hey, Bush, I'm saying to Bush, I don't hear from you, Bush, but I know she do. Right? You know what I mean? It is what it is.
It's
I don't know
fine.
how we got
It's
here.
fine. Listen,
I don't know how we got here.
parameters that were set when we first got married.
She is more likable, though. It makes sense, though.
It wasn't that. So one of them was female friends, and
Okay.
so I'm saying that to say when this woman, I still don't know her name, but when she brought it up, that was one of the things that she was saying. She was talking about how like they can't have like friendships of the opposite sex or something like that.
Oh, they're so
Which
young.
I was like, oh, that's so sweet, and
That's so young.
But that was something that we had done because of a lot of
we got
reasons.
married at 26.
You were 26.
Here we
Remember,
go with
I'm younger
this.
than you.
Here we go.
Don't
Here
forget.
we go.
So
That's interesting.
yeah,
That's really, really interesting that they thought that's where their brains were.
well, that was just one of the things that they went to, and I know that even in our, I guess we're making the assumption that some of what they're, because people are saying like toxic and using all these really like
That's unfair. I think it's unfair.
yeah, like charged words, right, to describe their relationship. And I guess in a lot of ways you would say like ours was healthy or considered healthy at the time because we had been dating for so long, but you and I both know it was,
But at the
it
same
was
time,
not a lot of healthy all the time.
Right.
Right?
We should have had some coaches. We had some help,
Yes.
but I wish we would have had some coaching.
Beforehand, yeah.
But I do respect the fact that they thought to go there. I guess in their case, I could understand. They're immature. I get it. They're young. You know what I mean? I don't mean immature in a bad way.
Right.
But they're still young. You know what I mean? Still growing, developing. You know, all of this good stuff.
Okay.
But I think in their situation, definitely, that might be actually pretty good for them. It's probably better off until they can, you know, solidify their relationship a couple years down the line and understand how to respect each other. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? How to respect each other's space and how that as humans you can have healthy relationships with the opposite sex. I think
Yes.
that's not a bad
I don't either.
clause or rule to put in for a young couple, especially with the world that he's getting ready to
To enter.
partake in,
Right.
and enter.
I think the
cool.
other thing, I think the last thing, and maybe this will be like a closing thought or something that you can kind of wrap things up with, right? Is you know, in their youth, I think they're moving kind of fast. He's, you know, his nose is so wet, and I think that's the same.
Nose is open.
Open. It's open. His nose is open. Thank you. I will trash a saying.
Oh Lord.
I will fix it and make it mine. Right?
You ain't never lied, but I love you though.
Okay, thank you.
His nose
So-
ain't wet, it's open.
It's not wet. I thought of a dog. That's why. Anyway, okay, sorry. So his nose is open, and because his nose is so open, right? He's just so gung ho for this love, and she's like, "I'll take it," because you know, I'll take it however it is that I can get it, and so I'm not gonna say I'm praying because I'm not that invested in it, even though we spent a long time talking about this.
Oh no, you are officially invested. The research you've done, they should.
It wasn't even no big
she
deep
should-
dive,
she-
though.
she should co-
Listen.
you know what? If this podcasting thing don't work, you'd be a great, like, what is that called? Is there a title for people who transition potential athletes' wives into the world? Is that a thing?
Oh, like coaching.
Yeah.
I would do some coaching in the process.
Well, because I was here during the idea, I need 10%, but cool.
you actually get 50
The way everything works.
the way everything works. But and yeah, so
Take away
anyway,
a zero. Take away a zero.
so anyway, I guess what I think there's just room. Like there's definitely room for growth. I don't totally have like a soft spot for her, but I also understand like you can't change grown folks' minds. And she, you know, they think they're grown. They're operating, well, I mean, technically they're their age, right? They're grown and you know, they've got to figure those things out, but I think overall, right? They're probably going to do this. They probably
Well, it's gonna
Like,
be.
they prob- like,
I hope it lasts forever.
I hope.
Keep sweat.
I mean, or long enough that they don't have children. But I really hope that engagement is stretched out after. So like once he's actually playing for,
Yeah.
NFL, you know, like and
Get settled in a new home
and a new space, and so they can really like, okay, we rode this wave, and now let's get to know each other. So
Yeah,
you know, we'll see what happens.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think you brought up some really good points. I'm glad that you took the lead on this. The research was incredible. That wasn't even a deep dive you said, but you raised some interesting, you know, points. And, you know, once again, to tie it all together, we're here once again to give our purview and our perspective as married people. And although these young people are going to potentially, and as you said, they're probably going to enter this agreement, this marriage covenant pretty soon. And the world's going to be watching. Whatever color she is or whatever her background is, or whatever his career is going to be, I hope for their sake that they become a little more polished. I hope they invest some energy into getting some education, some counseling, maybe looking at the people who are in their life, doing some auditing, you know what I mean, to protect themselves.
Right.
Because it's not going to be easy, and they've already got a taste of how tough this can be, living your life and dating in public, you know? So, you know, kudos to them. You know, I thought it was cool for us to address it, you know, even though we say we still don't care. We still don't care. We're working on this. But, you know, we are married, and we hope we shed some light. Some of you probably never even knew this thing was popping, and some of you probably heard it too many times, but hopefully this adds something beneficial to the news cycle that is the Travis Hunter and girlfriend saga. Right? That's all we got for today, guys. We've got more stuff coming. Thank you for taking the time. We'll be back, I promise. We're invested in this. We're having a good time. We love this. We love that we can share and provide a space once again. My lovely co-host, can you give her one more round of applause? I'm Steve.
And I'm Liz.
And this is
Marriage for Grown Folks.
Please hit the subscribe button. Find us on Instagram, one of the internets. That's the one internet that we're on.
Yes.
Sounding old. Get off my lawn. All right, social media.
That's crotchety.
Yeah, give us a comment. You know what I mean? Shoot us something. Give us some topics to invest in or to explore for you guys. We love you. We thank you. We appreciate you.